Hi there, Dr. Mike here. If someone you love has been showing subtle but concerning changes lately, I want to gently walk you through something many families don't see coming. A lot of people believe that death in old age happens all of a sudden, but in truth our bodies often send quiet early signals. These signs can show up months or even a year before life reaches its final stage. The thing is, they're easy to miss. They seem small at first, ordinary even, and it's usually only in hindsight that families look back and realize those signs were there all along. But by then, it's often too late to truly prepare, or to make those last precious memories count. In this video, I'm going to share 5 key signs that I've seen many times as a doctor, clues that someone may be entering the final phase of life. Some of these might already feel familiar to you, while others may seem minor, but they can carry deep meaning. When you know what to watch for, you can provide more thoughtful care, connect on a deeper level, and help make your loved one's final season full of dignity, comfort, and peace. So stick with me to the very end. These 5 signs may help you prepare, emotionally and practically, for what lies ahead. And when you understand what's happening, you'll be able to meet it with calm, compassion, and strength. One of the earliest, and in my experience most reliable signs that someone may be approaching the final year of their life, is unexplained weight loss. It doesn't always look dramatic at first. Maybe pants start fitting looser, a belt notch tightens unexpectedly, or their appetite quietly fades. A lot of families brush this off, thinking it's just another part of getting older. But from a medical perspective, weight loss that isn't intentional is almost never something to ignore. It often means the body isn't absorbing nutrients properly, muscle is breaking down, and internal systems are slowing. While some gradual muscle loss happens with age, sudden or continuous weight loss is different. It may mean digestion is weakening or the body's ability to process protein has declined, both of which lead to what we call muscle wasting. And that kind of weakness doesn't just make it harder to get around. It increases the risk of falling, reduces immune strength, and leaves the person more exposed to illness. Another major factor? Appetite changes. It's very common for elderly individuals to simply stop feeling hungry. Their sense of taste fades, meals stop feeling enjoyable, and they may start skipping food entirely. This isn't about being picky, it's a real biological shift. The body, sensing the end is near, stops prompting hunger cues as it once did. What follows is a decline in strength, in energy, and in overall well-being. In many cases, weight loss is also tied to underlying conditions, like cancer, kidney disease, or heart failure. These illnesses can take root long before other symptoms show. Even depression or memory decline can lead someone to eat less and weaken faster. Now I often hear families try to fix it with extra snacks, protein drinks, or their loved one's favorite meals. And those efforts do matter. But if the weight keeps falling off, despite all of that, it's time to understand. This isn't just about diet. The body may be signaling a deeper transition. In that case, forcing large meals often isn't helpful. Instead, the focus should shift toward easy-to-eat foods, good hydration, and most of all, comfort. So, if you've noticed your loved one dropping weight, eating less, or getting noticeably weaker, don't ignore it. This isn't about appearance. It's the body sending a message. And when you hear that message clearly, you can respond with grace, compassion, and the care they truly need in this important stage of life. Another early sign that I often see in the year leading up to the end of life is a deep, unshakable fatigue. This isn't the kind of tiredness that comes from a poor night's sleep or a long day. It's a constant, heavy exhaustion that rest just doesn't fix. This level of fatigue makes even the most basic tasks feel daunting. Getting out of bed feels like a chore. Walking across the room takes effort. Simple routines like cooking a meal, getting dressed, or even just talking can leave a person completely drained. This isn't just ordinary aging. From a clinical standpoint, it's a signal that the body is entering preservation mode. As organs begin to slow down, the body instinctively starts conserving its remaining energy. The heart doesn't pump as strongly, blood flow weakens, and muscles receive less oxygen than they used to. That's why many seniors in their final months feel wobbly, weak, and unable to keep up with activities they once enjoyed. You'll also notice something called metabolic slowdown. Normally, the body is always working, producing, burning, and renewing energy. But as the end approaches, it begins to hold back. Instead of using energy for movement, it shifts into conservation. That's why older adults nearing the end sleep more, nap often, and struggle to stay alert for long periods. Sometimes this fatigue comes on gradually. Other times it hits like a wave. They're fine 1 minute and then totally wiped out the next. But it's not just physical, there's an emotional toll too. Many older adults who were once independent and active begin to feel defeated or embarrassed when they can no longer do the things they used to. It's not uncommon for them to pull back socially, not because they've stopped caring, but because they simply don't have the strength. This kind of withdrawal can lead to a cycle where they stop engaging completely, which speeds up the decline. Now, from the outside, it's easy to misunderstand this stage. Families often think their loved one is giving up or not trying hard enough, but in truth, pushing them to do more can be harmful. What they need most right now isn't more activity, it's more understanding. The goal is to support them within their limits. Let them rest when they need to. Help them feel safe and comfortable. If your loved one is sleeping more, talking less, or constantly tired, no matter how much they rest, don't ignore it. Their body is transitioning, and this is the time to lean in with compassion. Make space for gentle conversations. Offer peace. And remember, what matters most now isn't how much they can do, but how deeply they feel loved, seen, and supported. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment the number 2 below to let me know you're here. I truly appreciate hearing from you. It helps me know what content connects with you most. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit that button and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on future videos that could help you or a loved one age well, with strength, peace, and clarity. Your support helps me keep creating content that informs, encourages, and hopefully brings comfort during some of life's most important transitions. Number 3. Increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal. As someone nears the final stage of life, one of the more noticeable shifts often happens in how they think, interact, and relate to the world around them. You may notice that someone who was once mentally sharp begins to have trouble with memory, communication, or orientation. They might forget names, repeat the same questions, or seem confused even in places that should feel familiar. Conversations may become harder for them to follow, and they may suddenly lose track of time or appear lost in their own home. These changes aren't just due to normal aging. They often show up as early signs that the brain is being affected by reduced blood flow, lower oxygen levels, and the body's overall decline. As circulation slows and nutrients to the brain become limited, mental clarity begins to fade. That's when you'll start to see things like decision-making becoming more difficult or moments of confusion that seem to come and go without warning. They may even experience brief periods of clarity, followed by deep confusion soon after. Emotional withdrawal is another key indicator. People entering this stage often begin to pull back from conversation and connection. They may sit in silence for long periods, avoid eye contact, or seem distant, even from close family. It's not that they don't care anymore, it's that their mental energy is shifting inward. Interacting becomes overwhelming. Even talking can feel exhausting. You might notice personality changes as well. Some individuals become more irritable, anxious, or restless. Others appear very calm or emotionally flat, no longer responding with the same interest or excitement they once had. These aren't mood swings. They're often signs of the brain slowing down, and the person withdrawing as their awareness of the outside world fades. As difficult as this is to witness, try to remember, it's not something they're doing intentionally. They're not trying to be distant. The best thing you can do is meet them where they are. Speak gently, sit with them, offer presence more than conversation. Even when they don't respond the way they used to, your warmth can still be felt. So, if you notice a loved one becoming more forgetful, disconnected, or emotionally distant, especially when these changes seem to progress over time, don't dismiss it. It may be their body and mind quietly preparing for the final transition. This is a time to reduce noise, slow things down, and focus on making their environment feel calm, safe, and familiar. Because even when the words start to slip away, the feeling of love can still reach them. If you're still watching, and this part of the video resonated with you, please comment number 3 below. It lets me know you're here, and that these insights are helping you navigate this important season. And if you haven't already, take a second to subscribe and turn on the bell icon. That way, you won't miss any future videos filled with helpful, gentle guidance on aging well, for yourself or someone you care about. Now let's continue. Number 4, frequent infections and slow healing. As the body begins to shut down, one of the clearest warning signs we see in older adults is a weakened immune system. You might notice that someone who rarely got sick before now seems to catch every little bug. Colds, flus, even minor infections. These issues may seem small at first, but what stands out is how often they happen and how slowly they go away. What used to be a simple illness now lingers for days or even weeks. Cuts and bruises don't heal like they used to. Skin starts to break down faster, and wounds may stay open longer than normal. From a medical perspective, this tells us that the body is struggling to defend and repair itself. It's not just aging, it's a deeper shift happening internally. The immune system simply can't respond as strongly anymore. Repeated infections become common in this stage. Pneumonia, UTIs, skin rashes, gum infections. At first they might seem like isolated problems, but when they happen back to back or take longer and longer to recover from, it's often a sign that the body is no longer bouncing back the way it used to. Even medications that once worked well may lose their impact. Antibiotics may take longer to kick in, or multiple rounds may be needed. And as organs begin to slow down, even those treatments may only offer temporary relief. There's another warning sign I want you to be aware of: chronic wounds. When the skin doesn't heal, when small cuts keep reopening, or pressure sores start to appear, it's a red flag. That's because the blood isn't flowing well enough to deliver oxygen and nutrients to those areas, and when circulation slows, healing slows right along with it. Sometimes even without a visible wound or fever, infection may still be present. In older adults, signs of infection often show up differently. You may see more confusion, lower energy, or a lack of appetite long before a cough, rash, or fever appears. That's why any sudden dip in alertness or awareness should be taken seriously. For families, this stage is tough. You want to help, you want to fix what's wrong. And it's natural to ask for more tests, more treatments, one more round of antibiotics. But sometimes more medication doesn't bring more comfort, it only adds to their struggle. At this point, the goal may need to shift from curing to caring. Focus on hydration. Keep their skin clean and moisturized. Make sure they feel comfortable and loved. These small acts often mean more than another hospital visit ever could. If your loved one is getting sick more often, healing more slowly, or just doesn't seem to bounce back the way they once did, pay attention. These are signs that their body is growing tired, and that what they need now more than anything is comfort, calm, and support. If you're still here and this part of the video spoke to you, please comment number 4 down below so I know you're following along. And if you haven't already subscribed, this is a good time to do that, and tap the bell icon too. That way you won't miss any of the helpful insights we share here on Aging Well with Dr. Mike. Number 5. Major changes in breathing or circulation. One of the most telling signs that a loved one may be nearing life's final stage is a noticeable change in how they breathe, or how well their blood circulates. You might start to observe their breathing becoming more shallow, more irregular, or even pausing between breaths. At times it may speed up unexpectedly, then slow again. One distinct pattern we often see is called Cheney-Stokes respiration. It's when a person alternates between deep, rapid breathing and long stretches where they barely breathe at all. This can begin subtly, but as the body continues to decline, it becomes more consistent and noticeable. Another clear sign is poor circulation. You might touch their hands or feet and notice they feel cold. Sometimes even the ears, nose, or lips start to appear pale or bluish. That's because the body is prioritizing blood flow to essential organs, cutting off supply to the limbs and skin. This change tells us the heart isn't pumping as strongly anymore. The body knows it's winding down, and it's adjusting to preserve what strength it has left. You may also see shortness of breath even with very little movement. Tasks like sitting up, talking, or shifting positions might leave them winded. You might hear them breathing through their mouth more often, and if they once moved comfortably but now seem to struggle just to walk across a room, that's an important signal. Sometimes this shortness of breath is caused by fluid collecting in the lungs, making it harder to breathe. That may come with a light cough, a gurgling sound, or pressure in the chest. These symptoms are often mistaken for a cold, but in someone nearing the end of life, they point to weakening lung function. It's also why many people at this stage stop sleeping flat. Lying down makes it harder to breathe, so they prefer to rest propped up on pillows or in a recliner. I know this can be hard to watch. As someone who supported many families through this, I understand the instinct to want to fix it. To encourage them to take deeper breaths or even rush them to a hospital. But in many cases, these changes aren't something that can or should be reversed. It's the body's natural rhythm shifting as it slows down. That doesn't mean there's nothing you can do, quite the opposite. Focus on keeping the space calm and peaceful. A cool room, a humidifier, small sips of water, all of these can make a difference. And in some cases, medication or oxygen may help provide a little ease. But most of all, what they need now is comfort, not correction. If you notice breathing becoming irregular, their skin growing cold or pale, or they seem more winded than usual, take it as a quiet message that the body is preparing to let go. Be there, offer peace, create an environment where they feel safe. At this stage, the greatest gift you can give is not medical treatment, it's dignity, reassurance, and the comforting presence of someone who cares. If you're still watching this video, and these signs feel familiar to you, please comment number 5 below. That simple gesture lets me know you're here and receiving the support you need. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do that now, and turn on notifications. It means a lot to me, and it helps ensure you never miss a message that might help you or someone you love. Let's wrap this up with a few final thoughts. As we come to the end of this video, I encourage you to pause and reflect on what we've covered together. Significant weight loss, unrelenting fatigue, mental withdrawal, recurring infections, and major shifts in breathing and circulation. These are the 5 signs I often see appear within the year leading up to the end of someone's life. They don't always show up all at once, and sometimes they're so subtle that families miss them, until they're looking back in hindsight. But once you start to notice these changes, it's often the body's way of signaling that it's preparing for a deeper transition. And for many families, that realization is incredibly emotional. It's only natural to want to resist it, to encourage your loved one to eat more, move more, or try harder. But sometimes, the most compassionate thing we can do is simply listen, not just to what they say, but to what their body is trying to tell us. When we stop trying to push against the inevitable, we can focus instead on what truly matters, making sure their final days, or weeks or months, are filled with peace, dignity, and presence. That's where real healing begins, even when the cure is no longer possible. Understanding these signs doesn't mean living in fear of death. It means being prepared for it. It means showing up fully, emotionally, practically, and spiritually, when someone you love needs you most. Recognizing these changes early gives you space to plan. It gives you time to have important conversations. And most of all, it allows you to make their final chapter rich with love, meaning, and connection. This is a sacred time, a time to slow down, to hold hands, to reminisce, to let them know without a doubt that they are deeply valued and never alone. If someone you care about is showing these signs, take a deep breath. You don't have to go through this journey alone. So many others have walked this same road before you, and while it's never easy, knowing what to expect can help you move forward with clarity, strength, and peace of mind. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you took away from this video and how you hope to use it in your life. Your voice matters here, and your reflections help others too. I truly appreciate every single message you share. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this kind of gentle support. Your encouragement helps me continue creating thoughtful, helpful content for people just like you. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.